Math 1332, Chapter 7, Consumer Mathematics, Section 2, Personal Budgeting, Video 5, Preparing a Budget. All right, let's get down to something that you can actually use. Not that the stuff you've seen before you can't actually use, but of all the things we do in this class, this is the one thing that is probably useful to the most number of people. All right, it's no secret how to prepare a monthly budget. You just have to sit down and do it. Step number 1, list all of your sources of net income. The sum is your monthly net income. If any sources of income are based on a different time frame than monthly, use exact conversions to convert to monthly. And I want to remind you that exact conversions, there's only 3 of them. 1 week equals 7 days, 1 year equals 12 months, and 1 year equals 365 days. With those, we can convert anything to months, whether it's in weeks, whether it's in days, or whether it's in years. Your second move is to list all of your fixed necessary monthly incomes. Again, convert timeframes as necessary. If it's not a monthly expense, convert it to its monthly equivalent. 3, estimate your variable monthly expenses. Now, this is where some people get tripped up. Things that cost the same each month, that's easy. Car payment, rent, whatever. Netflix, whatever. But there are expenses that vary from month to month. Your electric bill, your water bill, your gas bill. So how do you estimate that? Well, there's a couple of ways you can do it. This can be done by averaging the past 3 to 6 months. You have your bills, go back and average them, say, well, on average, it's this. And then each month adjust the average based on the most recent 3 or 6 amounts. But a safer move is to use the highest recent value as your estimated expense. For example, if you don't know how much to budget for electricity, look at your previous 6 electric bills. Find the highest one and say, I'm going to estimate it's that one. Because chances are, your actual expense will be less than the highest one in the past few months. Of course, there are exceptions. For example, if you have a gas-powered house and your gas bill will go up in the winter because you're using your heater, or you can expect your electric bill to go up in the summer because you're using your air conditioner more. But as long as you got a history of your bills, you can always go say, let me pick the highest one in the past year and estimate that. One sec. I threw my stylus on the floor. Once you've listed all these expenses, just add them, add all the necessary expenses, and emphasis on the word necessary. I mean, you can budget your luxury expenses if you want, but the reason they're called luxury and not necessary is because they are unnecessary. Pay for what you must first, pay for what you want later. That's how people get in trouble. Gee, I must pay my electric bill, but I really want to buy 3 expensive coffees per day. You got your priorities backwards. Once you've added the necessary expenses, subtract that from your monthly net income. The difference is your budget for the month. Well, the word budget can be one of 2 things. How you spend all of your money, or how much money you have left after you've paid for necessary expenses. But either way, you want to know how much you have left over each month. And if you're wondering, do I make a budget? Every single month. I even got them mapped out months in advance because I know what my monthly expenses are. I know what our monthly income is. As a teacher and married to a teacher, our monthly incomes do change. For example, we might teach extra classes during the year. So during the summer, our monthly pay goes down. We have to budget for that. But the more familiar you are with the monetary flow in your own life, the easier it is to make a budget. All right, we're going to take a look at a couple of examples. One we're going to do here, and the other one I'm going to show you how you can use a Microsoft Excel or any equivalent spreadsheet. All right, let's calculate the monthly budget. Our income is $2,775.20 per month. Well, we can assume monthly since it didn't say otherwise. We can also assume net. Our house payment is $975.23. Our utilities are $295 per month. We can assume that's an estimate. Car payment, $195.52. Must be nice to have such a low car payment. Insurance, $110.25. I repeat. Cell phone and internet, $120.95. Also must be nice to have it that low. Furniture loan payment, $87.50. Oh, at a place like Aaron's where you can rent furniture to own and stuff like that. We'll talk about that when we get into installment buying, which is later in this chapter. All right, so it looks like most of the work has been done for us. We have to take the sum of our income, but we only have one source of income listed here, and there it is. And then the rest are our expenses. Some fixed, some variable, but we have a number for each. So really all we have to do to calculate our monthly budget, or rather our money left over, is to take the sum of everything in pink and subtract it from the number in yellow. I'm going to pause the video and add up all the numbers in pink to figure out our monthly expenses. I'll go ahead and get it ready here. Monthly expenses. I'm not going to write the addition problem because that's just a waste of time and space. But I'm going to pause the video. I invite you to do the same thing and add up these 6 numbers in pink. When I added the 6 numbers in pink, I got $1,784.45. I think I'm going to pause the video and double check it. And upon double checking, I got the same amount again. It was actually convenient because I actually asked Siri, watch this. Hey Siri, what's 975.23 plus 295?
975.23 plus 295 is 1,270.23.
Obviously, I didn't ask it for all of them, but you can ask it what's this plus this plus this plus this plus this plus this. Just make sure you read the numbers correctly. And as she's giving them back to you, if you happen to have a smartphone, other smartphones might do this too. You can actually see the numbers as she's reading them back to you to double check. And so hooray for asking technology for the answer to a math question. All right, our monthly budget is simply going to be the difference between how much we bring in and how much we spend. So the 2,000 set, well, let's just ask Siri. Hey Siri, what is 2,775.20 minus 1,784.45?
2,775.2 minus 1,784.45 is 990.75.
So assuming I talked to Siri correctly and she did the math correctly, looks like our monthly budget is $990.75. So you need to ask yourself, could I live off of this money for luxury expenses in the course of 1 month? If you can, you're doing great. If not, change something, bring in more money, spend less elsewhere. All right, we're going to take a look at one more example, but this one's going to be a little bit different on 2 levels. Number 1, not everything is monthly. And number 2, I'm going to show you how I would use Microsoft Excel to do this. Calculate the monthly budget. Our income comes from 2 sources. We bring in $495 every 2 weeks from work. So we're going to have to do some time conversions to get it to a monthly. And we get $200 per month from our parents. If you've already read this, you can figure out it's the context of a college student. Our rent, $795 split among 3 roommates. So we're going to have to do some division to figure out what our share of the monthly rent is. Utilities, $213 split among 3 roommates. So the same thing there. We'll have to divide that by 3 to figure out our utility expense every month. On-campus dining plan, $600 per semester over the span of 4 months. This is a different time frame, a 4-month time frame, but it should be easy to figure out how to scale it down to a monthly. If we pay $600 per semester over 4 months, then we just divide by 4 to get the monthly. Cell phone and iPad data plan, $98 per month. Renter's insurance, $167.70 twice per year. Insurance, especially property insurance, is often done semi-annually. Gas, normally about $60 per month, but last month it was $90. So what do you think we should budget for gas, 60 or 90? I would probably budget the 90 because I would rather budget too much than too little. All right, so how can we use this in Microsoft Excel? Well, let me share what I have so far. I'm not going to go through all of the details that I used to build this spreadsheet, which I believe you can see now. Let me double check the share. Yes, you can. The formatting is just that. It's just formatting. If you've never used Microsoft Excel before, it's not that hard to figure out how to put lines around cells. And by the way, if you're used to seeing it look like this, I just turned off all the grid lines to make it a little bit cleaner. But I digress. The coloring, the words going upwards, the little boxes around some of the cells, that's not really what I want to show you. That's just typing stuff, knowing how to click buttons. What I want to show you is how to do the math. Let me kind of explain how I have this set up. I've got a place for income and a place for expenses. Under the income, I have 4 columns: source, where it comes from; period, how often it happens; amount per period, when it happens, how much is it; and then a place to scale it down to per month, some of which are already per month. And the same thing for expenses: the source of the expense, the period. Looks like we need to widen this 1 second. Okay. The amount per period, and the amount per month. Now, if you notice, I left the amount per period blank for rent and utilities. That's because we're splitting it with 2 other roommates. So in a minute, I'll show you how to divide by 3 inside of here. Well, let's go to the work. Right now, our work pays biweekly, so every 2 weeks, and we get $495 every 2 weeks. Now, how do we scale that down to months? And how do we do it efficiently? Well, in Excel, if you want it to calculate a number, you start by typing equals, because you want to tell it to calculate what something equals. And let's just type the calculations we would do. We get $495 every 2 weeks. We need this in months. So we're going to scale it from weeks down to days, because that's an exact conversion. 1 week is 7 days. Up to years, that's exact, because 1 year is 365 days. Then down to months, which is exact, because 1 year is 12 months. But we're going to do it all in one move. All right, the 495, which you currently see right here, represents every 2 weeks. Well, let's take it down to days. Since 2 weeks is 14 days, we need to divide by 14. The slash is the button for division in Microsoft Excel. So whatever the answer to that is our daily amount that we get on average from our job, from work. Now we need to scale it up to years, because there are 365 days in a year, and a year is bigger than days. We're going to multiply by 365. The Excel command for multiply is the asterisk sign above the 8 times 365. And then the answer to that will be our yearly income from this work. To take it down to monthly, we would divide by 12. So I'm asking it to do a lot of things at once. Take the 495 divided by 14 to get it to days, times 365 to get it up to years, divided by 12 to get it back down to months. And on average, it's $1,075.45 per month. The other line of income is easily, parents give me $200 per month, so the monthly is $200. No calculations there. Now, for the rent, and I'm just going to go check it out without resharing the screen. Actually, I have to share the screen to see it. The rent was $795. The utilities were $213. $795 and $213. $795 and $213. So my rent is equal to $795 divided by 3. And that is per month, so 265 goes here. Our utilities is $213, but that's also divided by 3, because I have 2 roommates. So 213 divided by 3, or equals 213 divided by 3, is $71. So $71. And I've got these numbers over here formatted as dollar signs, which is why they instantly type the dollars and the 00 cents. 1 second, folks. I want to check something real quick. $795 and $213. I just want to make sure I had those numbers correct. All right. $795. Oh, I wanted to make sure it was the right number of roommates. That's why I actually went back over there. So we'll check it one more time. Got to switch back over for a second. Whiteboard, please. Yeah, split among 3. The rent is $795 split among 3 roommates. I'm assuming I'm one of those roommates. Otherwise, it said split among you and 3 other roommates. So I'm assuming it's 3 roommates. If this were a homework or test question, I would try to make sure that it's clear how many people are sharing this rent and utilities. All right, but I digress. Our dining is $600 for 4 months. So to scale it down to 1 month, we would just divide by 4. So over here, I'm going to type equals 600 divided by 4. That's $150 a month. Our cell and data monthly expense is $98. Our insurance is semi-annually. That's twice a year or once every 6 months. So if we divide by 6, we get our monthly. So this equals 167.70 divided by 6, $27.95. And by the way, this does round if necessary. Our monthly gas, we're going to say, is $98 because that was our higher than usual gas bill the previous month. All right, so now I'm going to do a little bit more Microsoft Excel magic. For the total monthly income, I need to add these two guys. There's a real easy way to do that. Go to where you want it, type equals, and you can type the word sum, open parentheses, highlight the numbers you want to add, close parentheses, and press equals. There's our monthly income. Our monthly expenses, same things. I'm going to go where I want it right here, type equals, sum, open parentheses, highlight my amounts per month, close parentheses, and press equals. And now for the disposable monthly income, equals our total monthly minus, notice I'm clicking on numbers, the total monthly expenses, press equals. I have a disposable $573.50 per month. As a college student, I think I would be okay with that. If the Microsoft Excel stuff threw you off, you don't have to use it. I was just showing you because I know outside of class in life, you would use technology probably to get the job done. But you could just as easily go back here, do all the math manually, and get the same answer.